Come out of bye, the Brock Eagles are 2-0, and they have a heck of a schedule left before them. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett here on the Tommy Hayes Photography DFW Executive Realty Brock Football Show on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media, where each and every week I talk to the head coach of the Brock Eagles, Billy Mathis, about the week that was and the week that is and the week that will be. Yeah, I just thought that to myself. That's pretty good. Anyway, Brock comes out of a bye after back-to-back shutouts over the first two district opponents, Boyd and Peaster. 78-0, Peaster 61-0. They now travel to Whitesboro to take on a Whitesboro team that started the year off struggling as they were 1-3 at one point. They lost to Crum. Sorry about the beep. That was Facebook. They lost to Crum 49-28. Beat Crum 49-28. Excuse me. Lost to Bells 38-27. Pottsboro 40-39, and Sulphur, Oklahoma 62-21. But since then, they've been on a 3-game winning streak. They beat Pilot Point, they beat Boyd, and they beat Peaster. Now, none of those three teams are really good this year. Boyd, Peaster, and Pilot Point right now are, in fact, combined 0-8 in district and 1-13. I'm sorry, 1-17. 18. I'll get it right in a minute. 1-18 in football this year. But Whitesboro's a talented team, and they've got some confidence going, and we all know how they feel about Brock. So while I think Brock will end up winning this game comfortably, don't be surprised if it's closer early than you might think. I think Whitesboro has some fight in them. And also, they're fighting for a playoff spot, too. Speaking of, let's look at 4-3A Division I before we go to coach. Paradise, of course, is 3-0. Whitesboro's 3-0. Brock's 2-0. Ponder with the huge win, and I don't mean just huge by like, hey, it was a big win for the playoffs. I mean huge in, wow, they throttled Pilot Point 70-6. We have a Ponder football show on here with Coach Marcus Schultz. In fact, I've been doing, now that Chad Worrell is now in 5A and I don't do 5A shows, Coach Schultz is the coach I've been doing the longest show with, him and Coach Mathis. And Ponder, man, they've got a lot of talent, and they're really buying into his system and his program, and that's going to be a fun team to watch going forward. Their stud wide receiver is a senior, in fact, two of them, but everybody else on that offense is sophomores. So Ponder is going to be an interesting team to look forward to in the next couple of years, but also this year. That win puts them right in the thick of the playoff race, where if they take care of the teams that are at their level or below, and I think they can, they're going to be fourth. And, hey, they've got Whitesboro to end the season. That could be a playoff seeding game if this district goes the way everybody thinks it will. We want to thank our sponsors, Tommy Hayes Photography. You can find him online at TommyHayesPhotography.com. Also on Instagram, Tommy_Hayes_photography. We appreciate everything he does, but also being a sponsor. Also, he lets us use one of his awesome pictures for our coaches show picture, for when we post the show online. So do appreciate that as well. Also, Eddie Washington, DFW Executive Realty. You can find it online at DFWExecutiveRealty.com. Give old Eddie a call, 817-680-9134. Email him, edwash1@msn.com. If you have any realty needs on the Fort Worth side of DFW, Eddie will take care of you. His website has all the listings that he has. And by the way, Eddie, good job finally updating that picture there, young man. You're a little older than me, but still, good job updating the picture on the website. Go check it out, DFWExecutiveRealty.com. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, it's the head coach of the Brock Eagles, Billy Mathis, to talk the bye week and the big matchup against Whitesboro right here on S2S Sports. Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at L4FRclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español. Terry Bennett back here on the Brock Football Show. Now joined by the head coach of the Eagles, Coach Billy Mathis. And Coach, 2-0 in district. You haven't given up a point. You take care of Boyd. You take care of Peaster. What are your thoughts so far 2 games in?
Man, we having the bye week last week, it was nice to have, but it seems like it's been about a month since we've played. So got a big opponent this week. Whitesboro, we got to go out to Whitesboro and, with redistricting, when it happened when I got here, this is the first time that we're taking a varsity football team out since I've been here to go play out at Whitesboro. So, man, Coach Fagan always does a great job getting his teams prepared and ready. And I know it's going to be a battle, but our boys are going to be ready. They're excited. We had the last 2 games of being able to pitch shutouts, and man, you want to talk about getting a group of guys excited. They are excited about, the way they're playing and, offensively and defensively. So, this is one of those games that we know that's going to be one of the tougher games in district, and the guys have been very focused on it. And man, we're ready to go.
Well, when you look at how this district has started with, of course, we all figured you and Paradise would be up there at the top. In Whitesboro, they had that 3-game losing streak, but since then, 3-0 in district. You look at what Ponder did to Pilot Point, and all of a sudden, the back end of your schedule's getting a little tough, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I knew it would take Coach Schultz just a little bit of time, just like it always does, to get Ponder rolling. But Ponder's always been a very talented team.
Yeah.
And man, he's done a really good job, and I was very surprised to see that score, between them and Dillon Pilot Point, and even Coach Owens over at Peaster. Gosh, man, they played Whitesboro tooth and nails, and I went and watched that game, and both teams played really well, and it was a hard fought game, and Whitesboro's 3-0 in district, and they're hitting their streak right now. Is what they're doing, and as a coach, it's always what you want to do, and we got to do a good job of getting out there and getting on them fast, right? And if we'll do that and go out there and, get a couple 3-and-outs and be able to go score, I think that'll, give us the confidence that we need and give us the jolt that we need, to go win the game. But, they're very talented. They've got a lot, big, gigantic defensive line. Those guys, I think they got 3 of them across the board. They're 300 and plus. So, and what they do defensively, they move the guys around from a 3-man front to a 4-man front, jumping into different coverages. It gives you a lot of problems. So we've got to get out there and get figured out, what their plan is against us, and then be able to go and attack. So it's going to be a hard fought game. I know that.
Well, and offensively for them, they lost a lot from last year, but I have been very impressed with the tape I've seen on their quarterback, Clay Herms, this year, and they've got a really good running back. They're not as talented as last year offensively, but they're not that far off.
No, they sure are not that far off, and they just keep getting better and better each week. Of course, Herms is, man, he's a big old sucker.
Yes.
Gosh, he's hard to take down. He's got a big arm. And, he's not scared to throw it from anywhere, anytime. That guy, he'll be falling backwards and throw it 35, 40 yards down the field and put it right on the money. So, we've got to do a good job of staying in coverage, and we got to get some pressure on him. I believe that'll be the key for us is, besides winning the line of scrimmage, which, you always have to do, but, we've got to get some pressure on him and get some pressure on him fast. And, so he doesn't have time to sit back there, because if you give him too much time, he'll pick you apart. So we've got to do a good job of keeping our coverage tight and, getting that D-line free and get some linebackers coming at him and really putting the pressure on him fast.
Well, and, we all know last year they were loaded for bear, and Brock was their number 1 target. And in 2 games, they were really close. They couldn't quite do it. But I know you've coached long enough to know that sometimes it's the next year when they get that big win, and you have to really watch out. I'm telling people, everybody keeps looking at their record. This is not a bad Whitesboro team.
No, you can't look at the record, right? They played some really good teams just like we did. You look at both our records and you're thinking, man, these teams are pretty average. Well, both these teams are really good. Both of these teams have a chance to win the district championship. Both of them have a chance to go and play a long time, through the playoffs. So, our kids do a great job of staying focused on the team at hand, right? Because, people are asking about Paradise. And, man, we're not even worried about Paradise right now. We're focused on Whitesboro. That's who we got to stay focused on. We're a 1 week at a time type of team. And, the guys know that it doesn't matter what records are. When we go play Whitesboro, they're going to play their hearts out, and they're going to play their absolute best. And that's usually the way it goes when we play somebody. We're going to get their absolute best. It doesn't matter what they've shown on film or how they play against any same opponents. None of that matters. We get everybody's best. And, so knowing that, our guys have not taken anybody lightly, hadn't taken Whitesboro lightly, and, man, they are 100% focused in on going and doing a job against Whitesboro.
Here at L4 Media, we talk high school football, 4A, 3A, and 2A in Texas. We talk East Texas sports. We talk NFL, guy talk, movie and booze. We also talk wrestling and so much more. And you can see it all on our YouTube channel at L4 Media Company. Like and subscribe. Terry Bennett back here on the Brock Football Show, brought to you by Tommy Hayes Photography and DFW Executive Realty. Man, I had a uh-oh moment. Thought I had deleted the coaches show part. The way I do these shows is I always record the intro or the coaches interview first, and that way the intro and the outro can kind of have a theme to it, kind of what we talked about either in the show or sometimes before we start recording or after we're recording. And so you just copy and you move it over and you paste it and you put it down and, you do your intros, or we used to call them wraparounds, your intro and your outro. And so I did the intro, and then I usually do the intro, paste the commercial, paste the show, do the outro, and then go on about my day. Well, I copied the coach's interview, then cut it, and then pasted it. I do that all the time like that. I accidentally pasted it accidentally pasted the whole file to a new file, which deleted the coach's interview. Luckily, I was able to go back and find it. But, hey, that just shows the show. Even a show as great as this can sometimes have a bad week. Anyway, we do thank you for joining us as you do each and every week. If you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, email us, Terry, at s2ssport.com. Until next time, this has been the Brock Football Show, brought to you by Tommy Hayes Photography and DFW Executive Realty, right here on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media.